Hello, how are you? I just feel like talking about something today. Um, I've become more and more aware ever since I uploaded that message about me being in the afterlife, basically being in my own subconscious mind. Um, and what else? Basically being in my own subconscious mind. And everybody I talk to is just pretty much created from my own subconscious mind. Basically, Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Okay, if you ever seen the movie, the 1939 version of Wizard of Oz, and at the end of the movie, I hate to be a spoiler alert, but I guess I mean, it did come out in 1939, but towards the end of the movie, she woke up. Come to find out, she was unconscious, and so this whole thing about the Wizard of Oz and everything during the movie, everybody she was talking to, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Glinda, and all of that was all a part of her dream, was all a part of her subconscious mind. They weren't real people. I mean, they were real people in the real world, okay? But what we saw in the Wizard of Oz, all of those were characters from who really existed in the real world, and some people were just something that was created out of her own subconscious mind. Okay, and that's what I'm talking about. Dorothy was in her subconscious mind. She was in her subconscious mind in the Wizard of Oz. When you saw that tornado and she went up in the whirlwind, the next thing you know, she was in some other land. Okay, she went up in another land and stuff. She didn't realize that she was unconscious. Okay, she just thought that she was taken to another place, but really she was not unconscious. Okay, and that whole thing was just a dream. It was like she was in a dream, and that's basically what I said that I'm in right now. Okay, that's basically what I said I'm in right now. And what I realized about like being in your subconscious mind, even when I dream, I had a dream last night. I swear, several days went by. Literally, several days went by in my dream. But I was only sleeping an hour. And that's what I'm talking about. So, because time speeds up so fast over in this particular part of the plane, that I could literally have been unconscious maybe for one day because I was in a coma. So I could have been in a coma for like a few days or so, right? And it's like literally it feels like years passed by, but really it's all programmed. It's all of a part of the unconscious, subconscious mind. But anyway, and then the brain is a computer, so a lot of stuff is edited. A lot of stuff is edited too. Okay, because I know I was never born, because the real me is somewhere else, so I couldn't have been born. All of this was an edit. It was all part of the. But let me get back to the subconscious mind. I don't want to get too far away from it. So this is what I want to say. I was looking at Groundhog Day. I want to say it was either last year or 2023. Either 2024 or late 2023. I was looking at Groundhog Day. And I forgot the guy's real name that was in Groundhog Day. I mean, I don't know if it's Jim Belushi or what his real name is. I forget him because I get their names mixed up. Because these actors favor each other. But anyway, a couple of these actors favor each other. And I get their names mixed up. But anyway, in Groundhog Day, he kept waking up and it was Groundhog Day. It was always the same day. Every time he wake up, the same thing happened every day. Okay, like you see the same people. The people come and say the same thing. It's like if you you're living the same day over again. Like picture everything that you might have did when you woke up yesterday. Okay, and then you wake up again and you're doing the same thing. Like, wait a minute, I remember just doing this yesterday. And then you wake up again, like, wait a minute, I just did this yesterday. Why am I doing the same thing over and over and over again? The thing is, we don't know we're in Groundhog Day. He had an awareness to know that he was in Groundhog Day. A lot of us don't have the awareness to know that we are repeating the same thing that we have already done so many times. Which is why I don't really get too much into Bible prophecy. Not that I disagree. It's not that I disagree with the Bible, but the problem is that we're in Groundhog Day. It's not that I disagree. It's that we're in Groundhog Day. How many times are we going to keep repeating it? Okay. But so I asked Spirit. I said, so what do I have to do to get out of Groundhog Day? Because I'm in Groundhog Day too. So what do I need to do to get out of Groundhog Day? And the answer was, I need authority. I need to be in more authority. I need to take authority. I need to take authority. I didn't know what that means. I said, and I didn't understand what that means, right? Because back then I wasn't too aware that this was the afterlife. I knew we were in the underworld. I knew I was in the underworld. But I felt like there were other people who existed. So when they say take authority, I'm wondering, are you talking about like a president? Just take authority of my own life, like, have order in my own life, like take authority. Well, yeah, you do want to have order in your own life, but it's bigger than that. So like, what do you mean take authority? What are you talking about? I'm supposed to be in some kind of authoritative type of position? What does that mean? Because in order for me to get out of Groundhog Day, what I have to do is take authority. I have to take authority. Okay? And now come to this year, I realize that I've been in my subconscious mind that the real me is somewhere else in the real world while I am still in my subconscious mind, right? And everything that I see and everybody I see, including the people that's listening to me right now, they're all aspects of my subconscious mind. They're all aspects of my subconscious mind. Okay, even the people listening, you're all aspects of my subconscious mind. Okay? So there should be nobody in authority, but really, I have to take authority over how I see the world. I have to take authority over how I see the world. Because it's my subconscious mind, it's not anybody else's. It's not anybody else's, it's mine. So in order for things to really be the way I want it to be, it's not up to somebody else to decide to do the right thing. It's up to me to take control of this world, because this world is basically my subconscious mind. It's my subconscious mind. That means if I want everything to be free, how I'm talking about how it doesn't make any sense. How do you run out of water? The water is too abundant to be running out. It don't make sense. It runs out because man, M-A-N, man, okay, causes it to run out because they like to be in control. They like to control people. You should never run out of water. So like I said before, I'm not into this. I get having some extra water to drink at home when you get thirsty. Yeah, but how long is that going to last? But I don't want to get into that because this is not about stocking up. It's nothing wrong with having extra stuff. It's nothing wrong with having stuff, but I don't agree with that type of lifestyle, because then you're living in scarcity. You're living in scarcity, and I don't agree with that lifestyle. Especially the most abundant resource that should be some doggone water. And you run out of that, if you run out of water, you in trouble. And how do they get to control how much water you get when they are not what you would call deity that is over water? They are not the deity that is over water. So how do they control how much water that you get? See, I don't agree with scarcity. I don't agree with a lack of food. Yeah, you might have a lack of processed food, because a lot of what we eat, especially in the United States of America, is a lot of processed food. So yeah, you might run out of processed food. That might not be a bad thing. It might be a bad thing because some of our taste buds got used to eating stuff that's bad for us. But I mean, running out of processed food might not be a bad thing. Okay? But stuff that's naturally grown from the earth, how the hell do you run out? And so basically my point is this, because I'm going to take my time. I'm talking to myself anyway. And I am talking to myself. When I say I'm talking to myself, I'm not saying that nobody's listening. That's not what I mean. I really mean I'm talking to myself, even when I think I'm talking to somebody else. Even when I'm looking at this white truck on my left right next to me, this is all a part of my subconscious mind. See? I'm driving oh, you can't see. Anyway, I'm driving to work. I have like a little ways to go, like 20 more minutes to drive. So all this you see is all a part of my subconscious mind. That's what I'm telling you. Everything that you see right now, everything I just showed you on the camera is a part of my subconscious mind. They're not real. It's not in the real world. It's in my mind. Okay? So this is what I want to get to. My dream was very interesting last night. And what I saw is a particular being that I saw he was the one that was in charge of why things just would seem to be not necessarily out of control, but it seemed to be just like not good. A lot of stuff just wasn't good in the world. It looked very dark, like low vibrational, not like it was dark outside, but it just seemed to be, it didn't seem to be like a good reality. And I saw this man who looked like he was the main one in charge. But the problem is, he looked like the one in charge, but the only thing is, he is a part of my subconscious mind. He has been created out of me. I created him. When I say this man, I'm talking about a white man, right? I'm talking about a white man. And I grabbed him and I said something, and at first he started acting like it didn't faze him. But then as I kept going, he started to get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. When I said something. Okay? The reason why these people exist, the people that want to cause all this problem, that want to cause this dystopia, they want to cause all this famine, they want to cause all the economic, they want to cause all this, the depression, they want to cause all these problems. The only reason they exist is because of what you would call fear. But it's not about necessarily being afraid. That's the thing. When people say don't be in fear, I think they saying like don't be afraid of something. Like don't let something scare you. But that's a doggone lie, because if they were to see a rattlesnake right next to them, they ask to jump up out the car. Whatever they standing, they're going to jump. If they see a rattlesnake right next to them, unless they have a good relationship with certain snakes, like rattlesnakes, unless they have a good relationship with snakes, especially rattlesnakes, they'll tell you not to have fear, but you let them turn to the left or the right, and that rattlesnake is looking them right in the freaking eye, excuse me, whatever. I don't want to curse. The freaking eye. They ass gonna be in some fear. They're going to be in fear while they're telling you not to be afraid of anything. They're going to be in some kind of fear if that happens. They turn to the left or the right and they see a big grizzly bear right next to them. They might be in a little bit of fear. They might just get scared. They might jump. They just might flinch. They just might flinch while they're telling you not to be afraid of anything. You just got to be careful listening to people and what people tell you what to do with your life. You know. Because if you're not perfect, only a perfect person can tell you how you're supposed to feel on the inside. Like when it comes to psychology, people don't need to tell you what to do. Unless they are professional and you hire them to help you, they don't need to be telling you what to do. Because a lot of people, and I want to say most people, do not have it together. Psychologically, most people don't really have it together. Most people are mental. Most people are mental. Uh-oh, I'm supposed to be turning. So they don't have any room to tell you what to do with your life. They don't even have room to tell you what you need to eat. Unless you hire them to tell you what to eat. Unless you hire a dietitian or a nutritionist or a trainer or somebody to tell you, then that's when they need to tell you because you hired them. Other than that, people need to stop telling other folks what to do. But anyway, let me get back to the point. All of these people that's doing these bad things, this is why they keep wanting to push fear. This is why they keep wanting to push negativity out there. Okay? This is why they want to keep pushing fear out there. They keep wanting you to be in fear and pushing all this negative stuff. A lot of folks don't like looking at the news because it's a bunch of negative stuff. But then you have other folks that say, but you need to know what's going on. They're feeding your subconscious. They're feeding your subconscious. But really, they're feeding everything is in my subconscious, really. Honestly, I can say they're feeding everybody else's subconscious, but because I've come to the realization that all of this is my subconscious mind, then now I can get control of it. It don't matter what somebody else is letting something else. It doesn't matter what anybody else is allowing to happen. It's my subconscious mind, so it's basically my universe. And that's the whole thing about the Groundhog Day, to take authority to get that type of stuff in order. Those people exist because of fear. Fear is like a certain type of vibration. It's not just about being afraid of something. You know, it's like a certain type of vibration. It's not necessarily about being afraid, letting something scare you. Okay? It just came to me what fear is. And most people in my subconscious have fear because they're in my subconscious mind. Fear is when you think you are separate from everything there is. When you feel like there's nothing wrong with seeing yourself as an individual. But when you see yourself as separate from other things, like I think I'm separate from this house I'm looking at, I think I'm separate from the person I'm talking to. When you think you are separate from everything, then you are out of love and you're going into fear. Fear is separation. Fear is separation. It's not about being afraid of something. Fear is literally separation. The reason why we have time is because of fear. Because if you know that you are one with everything, there would be no time. It's like it wouldn't be any time. You would be in harmony with everything because you know that everything is you. You would know that you're not separate from those things. Especially when you know all of this stuff is in your subconscious mind. Like I know that everything I'm seeing is in my subconscious mind. Everything I see is in my subconscious mind. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, all of them exist in my subconscious mind. They do not exist outside of my subconscious mind. They do not exist outside of my subconscious mind. So if they don't exist outside of my subconscious mind, guess what? They're not real. They're not real. That means I created them. My subconscious mind created them. Now, when I say mine, I'm not talking about the person that you're listening to. I'm not talking about the person you're listening to. The person that you listen to that's talking right now is like, I'm in a certain point of awareness with this identity, this government ID. That is not the real organic person. That's not this me, the one that's speaking, that's not the real organic person. The real me is somewhere else. And I'm literally imagining everything that I'm seeing. It's literally in my mind, in my subconscious mind. Just like Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz. All of that stuff was in her subconscious mind. Okay. And when she had people giving her advice and telling her things and what she needs to do and what she needs to realize, it was basically probably her higher self that's trying to tell her. Sometimes when your higher self wants to give you a message, it comes as it's like other people saying stuff to you, like somebody else giving you advice, and that's really you telling yourself that, but it has to come away as if somebody else is telling you when it's really you telling you that. I say higher self, it's just a word. Some people might want to say God. I don't want to get into different words that you should use, because that's once again getting into telling people how they supposed to think and what they supposed to believe. I don't like getting into, so I don't care if people call it God. I don't care if people say spirit. I don't care if somebody say it's your higher self, or some people can say it's your God self. However people like to say it, I don't get into this telling folks how they supposed to think. I don't get into that and how they supposed to talk. I don't like that. I really don't like that kind of stuff. I do not like telling somebody else how they're supposed to talk. Like that's a little bit too bossy. When you want to constantly correct how somebody express themselves, constantly trying to correct them. You know. But anyway, no, that's all I gotta say is that all these people that we see, they only exist because we're in fear. And what is fear? Donald Trump, Barack Obama, all these people, Joe Biden, all these people that want to push all this stuff to cause people to be poor, to cause people to be in scarcity, all this weather manipulation going on, everything to keep us at a low vibration is only because of fear. These people only exist because of fear. They're literally created thought forms. Like all these people are thought forms. They're not real. They're literally thought forms. And they exist because of fear. And fear, as I said earlier, is not about being afraid of something. Like if I saw a grizzly bear right next to me looking at my face, I got every damn right to jump. So it's not about being afraid of something. If you saw a tarantula, you got every doggone right to jump. What are you talking about? You got every right to jump. What are you saying? Okay? Because if they're not used to seeing you, they're going to jump. If they the same way they might look interested and scared of you, you might look scared to them, and they just might jump and defend themselves too. Okay? Fear is created out of a lack of harmony, but it's also because of separation. Fear is separation. It's not about being afraid of something, it's separation. You are in fear when you are out of love. And how do you get out of love? It means that there's no longer a unity type of consciousness. Meaning that, let me tell you how these low vibrational entities want to create a unity consciousness. Their idea of unity consciousness is pretty much like a totalitarian or whatever, trying to get people to not use their own mind, to think, to have a hive mind. Basically, these low-level entities that call themselves billionaires, these low-level entities, their idea of a unity consciousness is to have a hive mind where nobody is supposed to be a free thinker. That's their idea of a unity consciousness. No, unity consciousness is not about not having your own way of thinking. You can still have your own individual ways, but you know that you're not separate from anything. You're not even separate from the tree that you're looking at. You're not separate from it. You're not separate from the car that you're driving. You're not separate from the mountains that you're looking at. You're not separate. It's all a part of you. That's a love frequency. When you get rooted in a love frequency of knowing that you are a part of all of these things and nothing is separate from you, then you get out of fear and these people don't exist anymore. These folks that keep wanting to cause all these problems in the world and mess with the water and give people shots and all this stuff, they don't exist anymore, because the only way they exist is because of fear. That's why they work so hard to push fear, because if you're not in fear, they don't exist anymore. You end their existence when you are out of fear. But anyway, with that being said, I will talk later.